Hello everyone, this is Spirit Journey. Today is November 4th, 2016, and it's almost 8 p.m. I want to share with you something very serious for me. It's maybe a half an hour now since I returned home from seeing the movie, The Birth of a Nation. Wow, a very, very powerful film. All of that, when I walked out of the film, I was very shaken. And I've seen films like this before, but this hit very home. The Birth of a Nation, ironically, is a similar name from a movie that came out in the early 1900s. That movie was called Birth of a Nation, I believe. And that movie actually was the first propaganda film, the first film in the United States. The film industry, I'm sorry, my dog, the film was just developing back then. And Birth of a Nation back then was a movie about the fears of black people, fear of black men, if whites don't take control of blacks, that blacks will overcome whites. And they use the fear of black men raping white women. So ironically, with this new film that just came out, I think a week ago, that you have a film by a similar name, The Birth of a Nation, but this one was about slavery in the early 1800s. And it depicted the lead character, a man by the name of Nat Turner. And what was important about him was that he led a rebellion, a slave rebellion in the state of Virginia. And he had killed his so-called owner, his abuser, and he led other people in the resistance. What I can say about this film was, I think that if we watch a film like this, I think will help motivate us to take action about our own personal lives. Not about vengeance. No vengeance, but will awaken us more and more about our situation. When I left that film, and I live in New York City, and I see all these black men on the streets, and if these black men would see this film and see this hero, Nat Turner, they would say, I'm not going to give whites the satisfaction of my demise, and I'm going to get my life in order. What I also want to share in this video, that we as black people have to unite. We have to. We have to take responsibility of our lives. And if necessary, we may be required to make some serious sacrifices. And that's what I learned about that film, The Birth of a Nation, about Nat Turner. If we don't take control, other people would take control. We have an election coming in a few more days. And I feel like I need to say this. Again, people should vote for how they want to vote. People shouldn't be intimidated about who they're going to vote for. It's about freedom of choice. Unfortunately, I don't think there's a lot of choices. But one thing I can say is that those black people out there who want to vote for Hillary Clinton, what you're voting for when you vote for her is a reminder about Danny Williams. Danny Williams is a 30-year-old black man from Arkansas, and he is believed to be the illegitimate son of former President Bill Clinton. And this Danny Williams had 2 press conferences, and I haven't heard the Clintons speak or respond in any way regarding the 2 press conferences. Each time the Clintons turn their back and not respond, just think of Nat Turner, okay? Just think of that. This is modern day abuse against the black family. Earlier today, I posted a video just about the Danny Williams and the Clintons. So, voting for her, you may feel that you have no other choice because you don't want to vote for Donald Trump, and that is your prerogative. But to vote for Hillary is voting for the demise of the black man and the black family each time they refuse to acknowledge him or to even take a paternity test. So what I wanted to do right now, I have here on this top, I wanted to make a libation for my ancestors. The movie that I just saw, they showed some African traditions in the movie and how he looked up to the ancestors, and I thought that was very powerful. So I wanted to share with you my libation to my ancestors and to our current black people, descendants of slaves, whether you're from the United States, whether you're from the Caribbean, whether you're from Central or South America. So I'd like to share this libation to my ancestors. I first want to light some candles. I now light my incense. This is my candles. I have my glass of water and live plants. I have my shells. I have 6 bottles, and each bottle represents the location of my known ancestors. My African ancestors, Caribbean ancestors, and my European ancestors. Dear Creator, I thank you for this evening. I thank you for giving me a sound mind. I thank you for the breath of life that you've given me. As you know, I am seeking knowledge and truth. and seek strength from all my ancestors. Watching the film made me want to reconnect, not take for granted the people who have sacrificed their lives for me, those that are living and those that are deceased. So I thank you for this time, and I give honor to all my ancestors. This first bottle represents my ancestors who were slaves in the Caribbean. I pour a libation for the sacrifices and those who were killed along the way, the journey to the Americas. I thank you for your sacrifice and peace. I thank you for your courage. I'd like to thank my ancestor, my earliest ancestor, who ironically came from Europe, from Cork County, Ireland. I pour a libation to you. Because you are my ancestor, my blood direct line ancestor. And I pray for resolution and peace from this ancestor, that their lineage had done horrible things to the indigenous people from the Americas. They arrived in Martinique. It was a couple. They arrived in Martinique in around 1656 around. 1656. And I pray that those people who are harmed by them, that their spirits be at peace, that all the trauma be removed so that they can move forward spiritually. I thank you. This libation I do to my ancestor, give to my ancestor from France. I thank you for that. I would not be here genetically without you. And you too historically have committed crimes against humanity. However, I pray for peace and resolution from this ancestor who had done crimes against humanity as well. But I seek peace and resolution, as I said. May you lead those people who you may have harmed and give forgiveness and reparations. I thank you for the genes I have, because without you as well, I would not be standing here. Peace to you as well. I pour a libation for my ancestor from Russia or Ukraine. I pour a libation for you as well. Though this ancestor had come to the Americas post-slavery, I still want to recognize you because you have given me my genes as well. I pray that whatever what you have done, that if you had done harm to my African ancestor or done them wrong, I pray that you give restitution in some form in the lineage. And if you were a person of honor, that peace, love, and blessings, and that you accept my offering. I thank you, ancestor, from this location. I thank you, and may you live in peace. I give a libation to this ancestor who was from Portugal, who arrived in the Caribbean after slavery, who had got involved with my great-great-grandmother. I understand, even though you two were not legally married, and you had about five children with her, you have presented in the documents and said that that your legal wife from the same country where you are from is the biological mother, and that you did this so that your children will receive an inheritance, because back then illegitimate children cannot receive an inheritance, and that you couldn't have children with your legal wife. So I thank you for the things that you bought your children, and you did the best that you could to supply their needs. So I pour a libation for you as well, ancestor. I thank you, and may you live in peace, and I thank you for making things possible for them to get their life going. I thank you, ancestor. I now do my last libation for my father, who had passed away around 7 years ago, and my relatives and ancestors who died here in the United States. You are not forgotten. I thank you for the genes that you've given me. I thank you for some of the good examples that you showed me. I thank you for the genes that you've given me, and I thank you for your efforts. Peace, love, and joy to you, my ancestors who died here in the United States. I know that you worked hard, and I know that life was very difficult with the persecutions, the racism that you faced. You are not taken for granted. I thank you. I thank you, ancestors. I thank you for making my life better through awareness. I thank you for your courage. And may the courage that you had and your examples that you provided, that I utilize those examples in my life for freedom and the freedom of others. I thank you this day. Peace, love, and joy. And may all those who are watching this video take it with seriousness, and that they come together as a family, that their families come together, and that they pray and seek answers to be free from persecution. I thank you.